Hey everybody, and welcome back to my Let's Play. We are moving along. So right now, my next objective will be, once the game loads up, will be to get the fourth and final mask. So I'm gonna go ahead. So I'm starting off here in this other save room, which is okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure I have enough space for everything that I need, that kind of thing. So we're moving along. We are progressing, and I like it a lot, which is good. So I was just randomly thinking the other day. I remember I was just, because I was playing this, I'm playing this game on the Xbox 360, and I have this force of habit where I don't where I put my online preference as appearing offline, so people can't tell that I'm actually playing a game when I am. And I know that's totally antisocial, but what it is just that then I get these messages from these random people that are just like, oh hey, I want to play, let's play co-op this, let's play co-op that. Oh my gosh, it was so bizarre. There was one time where somebody actually yelled at me online, so you know what I mean, all caps. This person got pissed off at me because I had not played, and I had not played with her a co-op game in like a long time, and I had to do kind of a double take. I had one of those moments where I was like, are you serious here? First of all, I don't know you that well, and secondly, I can play what I want when I want. What happened to that concept? It was so weird. I know I'm not the only one, but I've had so many bizarre online experiences. But I think that's just the nature of life online. I don't know. Then I've had the standard people that ask, "Are you a girl?" And of course, apparently, you have to prove that you're a girl, whatever that means. Oh, then you must be a guy. Send me a picture. Like, no. Oh, then you must be a guy. I like your logic there, buddy. Like, for real. It's one thing I will say is that it keeps you on your toes. What can I say? Now, the doorknob looks like, I think here, this is the second time that I'm going through this door. I think that that's the last time that I'll be able to go to that door. I think the doorknob will be broken after that. Hello, zombie. Oh god. He's gonna grab me. Oh. What? Didn't he look like he was gonna fall? That's bizarre. He looked like he kind of stumbled for a bit, like he was gonna collapse, but then he just grabs me. That's weird to me. Alright, so I'm gonna burn his ass just for a little payback. I definitely don't want to deal with him. Now. Oh great, the armor key is no more. I still have the sword key though, which is bizarre. I guess I'll eventually figure out where the sword key needs to be used, but we'll see. Alright, so we have this puzzle here, which is quite different than the director's cut version, which is basically you have to trace stages of life for an individual. Alright, whereas here we have a bunch of these stained glass pictures, so you'll see in a second. So the idea is that you're supposed to match the three different pieces of jewelry here. So she's wearing a crown, a necklace, and a bracelet, and they're different colors. So this guy's wearing a bracelet, and it should be orange. That's not what I want. Okay. I'll probably have to go to the other side just to see. Okay, that's what I want, which is good. What about this one? I used to think that if I ran in this area, it would trigger the crows attacking you, but that's not the case. Thank God. Because could you imagine walking back and forth trying to solve this puzzle? You drive yourself nuts. Okay. Alright, so I think that's it. I think the puzzle is just about solved. I just need to press the button over here, and then I'll be good to go. Alright. Okay, that's it. Awesome. So this leads to the area. It's the same area with the where I first got the sword key. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to unlock this. And the reason why I'm doing that is because what that'll allow me to do is that will allow me to avoid... There's a hallway. You know which one I'm talking about. It's the one with that bathroom with the zombie in it. It's the same hallway with the room where I got the shotgun. For some reason, I always try to avoid that hallway because I don't know how many enemies there are or there are going to be in the area. So now that I have this door open, I can kind of bypass that hallway. And you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean shortly. So right now, I'm just about ready to go. I'm just going to grab a few items here. And move it along. Now, what I didn't show you guys, and I do apologize for this, is that in the character select screen, you can obviously you can choose to play either Jill or Chris, but you can also choose to play as Resident Evil 5 Jill. I should specify that the Lost in Nightmares Jill Valentine. She's in that blue suit. Yeah, she was in the blue suit. She had like a cap on. Or you can play as BSAA Chris, which is pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to checking out if there's any differences beyond what I'm assuming. Beyond what I'm assuming, which is the cutscenes will be a little different. It'll just have the alternate version of the characters as well. So then when I can't pass through. So yeah, you can only use this door 2 times then. So that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind in my next playthrough. So I can't help but wonder if there's additional costumes that you get once you beat the game. I know that in the remake you get, for Jill, I think you get, for Chris, I think for both characters you get 2 alternate costumes. I know for Jill you get her Resident Evil 3 outfit, you know, the short skirt and the tube top. And you also get this other suit, like this combat suit. People call it the Sarah Connor suit. I could see that. I could definitely see that. And I think for Chris, what does Chris get? I think he gets 2 costumes as well. I think he gets his Stars outfit that he was wearing in Code Veronica, maybe I'm just making that up. But I know for sure one of his costumes is kind of this like, how do you describe it? It's like this skater boy type thing. He looks like a complete douchebag. It's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Like somebody had a good time with that one, coming up with that crap. Okay. Some reason I thought there was something glowing over here, so I was trying to pick it up, but it turns out to be a figment of my imagination. Which happens a lot, believe it or not. So yeah, let me go back to this whole survival horror discussion that I was having in an earlier video. The late 90s seemed to be rich with all of these, especially for like the PlayStation. You had D, which is what I was talking about a little bit. You had, of course, Silent Hill, these games. You had also, there was an Alone in the Dark PlayStation game, at least one. I don't know if there's any other ones. They had some Clock Tower games for the PlayStation. And then they also had like Nightmare Creatures, which I remember my cousin playing, but it's such a vague memory that I don't really... I just remember it was kind of like a hack... I think it was like a hack and slash thing, but I might be wrong about that. It looked like fun, but I never had it myself. And I was one of those people... I still, to this day, I'm one of these people where I'm very faithful. I'm very loyal to a particular game. Usually, for the most part, if I'm playing a game, that's kind of the only game that I play for a little while until I get tired of it. Usually, not all the time. There's times where I'm playing multiple games at once. Okay. So, There's a very specific reason why I brought the grenade launcher with me. You'll see it right now. Alright. Yikes, look at those claws. Oh dear. That looked like that didn't even touch him at all. He was just like, oh, the grenade the grenade round hits him. Oh yeah? It's just like, what else you got? Like, oh shit. Look at this. Oh my god. Wow. Seriously, that guy took a hell of a beating. Alright, so what do we got here? Something here. Great. So this is gonna allow me to finally get to the courtyard, which is good. Which is the very reason why I wanted that door open. Like I said before. The door unlocked. Let's put it that way. So I find it interesting that all of the Resident Evils, I mean, let me think about this. In terms of costumes, alternate costumes, they all had alternate costumes. And I'm just thinking about the mainstream Resident Evil games. I'm not even thinking about kind of the side story ones. Although those are a guilty pleasure of mine, I have to say. Like, I have most of them. Let me list them in order. I have Gaiden. That one was hard to track down. That one was a pretty penny. I was so pissed when I got outbid on it. It was through eBay that I got it. But it was definitely a pretty penny. A lot of other people are hunting for that game. But I'm happy I got my greedy little hands on it. So I'm looking forward to playing that. And I think I can play it on my Retron 5. So be jealous, everyone. I have a Retron 5 and I have Resident Evil Gaiden. So yeah. Come at me, bro. So I have Gaiden. Not played it yet, but I've seen a little bit of it. A little bit of the gameplay. I have Survivor. And I've played a little bit of that. It's not too bad. It's tough. It's something I have to get used to. And I did die. I played it on Twitch one time. And it's definitely an interesting experience. I also have Dead Aim. And I played a little bit of that one. That one is a little better than some of the other side-scrolling, oh my gosh, some of the other side story games, but not by much. Has an interesting premise to it, and so it was interesting because they all of the games that have to do with, like, you know, first-person shooting, all of the earlier games, let me put it that way, because we have the Chronicle games now for the Wii. But the earlier Resident Evil shooter games, I'm talking about Survivor, Dead Aim, they all were nicknamed Gun Survivor. They were all, people said they were part of this Gun Survivor series, and I think there was like 4 games in that, and it's really confusing because one of those games actually is a Dino Crisis game. So it's just like, why are we adding a game from another series? I know it's made by the same people who made Resident Evil, but that's still another series, so that's a little weird. So Survivor was Gun Survivor 1. Then you had Gun Survivor 2, which never came out here. It was a shooter that took place in the Code Veronica universe. And it was non-canonical, apparently, because it was a dream that Claire was having. Something like that. So it was completely non-canonical. And then you have Gun Survivor 3 and then Gun Survivor 4. Dead Aim, I think, is Gun Survivor 4. And Gun Survivor 3 is the Dino Crisis shooter game. I don't know what that one's called, but that's, I don't know. So that might be pure fiction. Maybe somebody told me that was how they numbered the series, but who knows? I would have to do more research on that. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This allowed me to bypass. Had I not opened that door, I would have had to go to the other hallway. So now I can finally get to the courtyard. I was just double checking to make sure that there was no other enemies. Thank God there aren't. So we're moving along. Alright, now if I'm not mistaken, I think there might be some trouble up ahead. Hence the very cautious walk. Oh god. Let go, Cujo! Jesus! Golly, I hate the dogs in this game. Oh my god. See, that's what I mean. Ah, oh, what a cheap shot right there. That's their ammo. They will run behind you and get a free hit on you, and there's... That's something I have to, like, figure out. Okay, I think he's dead. So that wasn't too bad because it was only one of those, but the dogs still kind of cause me trouble, so I'm always a little leery of them. Alright, so you notice that this is a little different. The director's cut version, you have, it's 4 crests that you need to place here. So, whereas here it's only this one item, this one object, as they call it. Alright, so there's some goodies here, which is nice. Including some shotgun shells, which is always a welcome addition. Alright, so let me see what we have here. So there's actually 2 doors out, which is unique to this game. Alright, the battery pack. Sweet. So I'm going to go up here first and see where this leads. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's more trouble up ahead. Oh.
Jill to Brad, can you hear me? Shit, it's broken.
Okay. That accomplished a lot. Oh, and I love how Jill was on the radio that whole time trying to contact Brad, and the dogs were just... I guess they were just being polite at this point. They're just, oh, you know, she's trying to talk to her teammates, so let's just leave her be until she exits the cutscene. That's the power of cutscenes, folks. And you know, I'm just using the shotgun at this point because fuck these dogs, seriously. Jesus. Well, it could be worse. It could be 3 of these guys. Oh, I think that's what tripped me up. She was relating to... What? So there... Wait. I'm confused. There are 3 of them. Whoops. For some reason I thought there were only 2. Okay. Unbelievable. Alright, so I'm definitely using this now. It could be worse. I could have died. I'm always trying to see the brighter side of things. That's my new philosophy. Could be worse. That's my tagline. That's my catchphrase now. Okay, so this area is clear now. If I'm actually, now that I think about it, I think there's not really much I'm going to be able to do here. At least for now. At least for now. Because, yeah, that's what I expected. I need the crank. Yeah. So I'm going to have to come back. I'm assuming I need to go through the other door in that little, like, shack that I was in before. And hopefully that's where I pick up the crank. So we'll see. I like how only the zombies can become Crimson Heads, but what about the other creatures that are infected with the T-virus? So, like, dogs? I suppose I shouldn't ask that. Could you imagine the dogs coming back to life even faster and even more aggressively than they already are? Could you imagine the hunters coming back? The tyrant. Well, that's a different story. Yeah, I'm taking the first aid spray. I don't really want to walk all the way back to the save room to get some herbs. I hope I don't have to use it, but if I do, then I will. It's fine. It's not really like I'm at this point, I don't really have any high hopes for getting an A rank. I've already saved about 20 dozen times, so. Alright. North is Valley of Destruction, south hatred. Cave of Hatred, vagina. No. East, Summit of Madness, and West, Path of Revenge. Alright, so before I even mess with this, I'm gonna see where I need to point these things. It's a puzzle.
Barry?
Monster! Chains! Gun! Ineffective! Instant! Stay away! Forest outside mansion! Stay! Hey!
So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go right to the forest that he told me to stay away from. Because I'm smart that way. Okay. I thought for some reason there was something up here, but I was wrong, so let's go down here. Okay, so this thing right here, Cerberus. Last gasps of destruction. Okay. So the blue compass. Destruction was what? War Cry of Revenge. I think destruction was north. And then revenge was west? Alright, so let me deal with the red one first. Or the one furthest away. Okay, so that'll turn. And I'm going to turn the other one, the blue one, towards the north direction. And hopefully that's correct. If not, I'll just go back and check. Let me see. That's correct. Ah. Excellent. Okay. Well, that works for me. Alright. You'll see what lies beyond this gate in the next video. Until next time.